A very good morning, student. Sharad Institute of Technology Polytechnic, Department of Information Technology welcomes you in this third semester. I am Akshata Nirwane and I am going to teach you object-oriented programming using C++. This is course for the third semester, student. In this today's lecture, we will discuss detailed syllabus of this course. But before that, I want to tell you that what is the object-oriented programming. As we know, computer program is a set of instruction and that instruction tells the computer how to work. Okay. So programming language is a language used to write computer programs, and object-oriented programming is a way of programming which enables programmers to think like they are working with the real life entities or objects. Means object-oriented programming focuses on the developing real life problems. Okay, in real life, people have knowledge and can do various works. In object-oriented programming, objects have fields to store data and can do various work. In the last semester, already we studied the C language, which is the procedure-oriented programming language, which is mostly focused on the algorithms and procedures. But in object-oriented programming, it focuses on the data. That is an object. Object-oriented programming focuses on the objects that programmers want to manipulate. It not focuses on the logic, means how to perform the procedure or how to solve the problem. It more focus on the data. So this object-oriented programming used in the large or complex programming. Object-oriented programming makes the program less complex and it is readable, or it enhances the readability, means this programming is easy to read. Also in OOP, components are reusable and extendable. Okay, what is meant by reusable? That is, once we create one class, we can create multiple objects of that same class. Means we can reuse some instruction. So object-oriented programming is always good for the large business application. That is a real world programming. It allows us to write a program to solve real world problems in the form of object and classes. So we will see one example. It is an example of object-oriented programming. Means in object-oriented programming, everything is in the form of classes and object. So object can be ranged from human being. See here, the class is a human. Object is name of that class or name of that human. Properties means each and every human has some properties like email, address. Okay, so class is a human. We can create number of objects of the same class. Means take one example, that is Mr. John is a one object, Mr. Williamson is the second object. So class is the same. Both are the human beings and they have the different name. Also they have the same properties. Means suppose John has the xyz@gmail.com. This is his email address. Okay, and method means the function. By using this function, we can perform operation on these properties. Okay, so this is the example of object-oriented programming. We will see another example. Okay, this is the example of car. Here, car is a class, and there may be many cars with the different names and brands, but all of them will share some common properties, like all of them will have 4 wheels, speed limit, mileage range, etc. So here car is a class and wheels, speed limits, mileage are their property. Here we can see it is a car, it is a class, and we can create number of objects of that class car, and these object has the some properties like color of car. Each and every car has the different color. Also four wheels. Okay, mileage of these car are different. Here car is a class and different object name are Sonata, Caprice, Benz, etc. Okay, now we will see what is C++. C++ is general purpose object oriented programming language developed by Bajaj Stroustrup. Okay, so C++ is one of the object oriented programming language. There are different OOP languages like Java, C++. From that we are going to learn C++ throughout this semester. So C++ was called C with classes because this C++ language has all the properties, all the same features of the C language with extra feature, that is a class and object. So previously it was called as C with classes, but it was renamed C++ in 1983. Okay, C++ is considered an intermediate level language because it has the properties of or features of both the high level and low level languages. So it is called as a intermediate level language. Next, what is the question that what is the use of C++? Means why we are going to learn C++ language. What is the use of C++ language in the real world? So here real world applications of C++. First, can you guess the logo? That is the Adobe. This is for Apple operating system. Okay, Maya is the most used graphics software. Okay, the first is a GUI based applications. C++ can be used to develop most of the GUI based and desktop applications. Most of the application of the Adobe system like Photoshop are developed using C++. Also Winamp, which is a media player from the Microsoft, it is also developed using C++. Second application of the C++ is database softwares. This is a MySQL server, OOP used in or C++ used in writing database management software like MySQL. This is the what? Browser. So C++ is also used to develop the different browser. That is the most used browser, Mozilla Firefox. Here is a Apple operating system and Windows operating system. These operating system also use the C++ language. Maya is the graphical software which is used for the animation. It is also developed by using the C++. Okay, next real world application of C++ is the banking sector. As we know, the Infosys company is famous for providing the Finacle software which is for the banking application, and this Finacle software is also used C++ as the backend. The another applications of the C++ are it is used for the compilers, different libraries, advanced computation and graphics, embedded systems, etc. Now it's time to see the details of object oriented programming using C++ syllabus. Here is our course title, Object Oriented Programming using C++. The rationale of this course: in the modern world of information technology, the object-oriented programming has become the most preferred approach for the software development. It offers a powerful way to cope up with complexity of real-world problems. Among the OOP languages available, C++ is the primitive language which develops fundamental understanding of object-oriented concept. Means, after completion of this C++ language, you can easily deal with the Java language also, because all the basic concept of object-oriented language is covered in this C++ language. This course enables you to develop programs in C++ using OOP approach. Now we will see the course outcome of this subject. What is meant by outcome? A detailed description of what a student must be able to do at the conclusion of a course. Means, after completion of this subject, what will be able to do? What the student will be able to do is nothing but the course outcome. This course has 5 outcomes. The first one is a develop C++ programs to solve problems using procedure-oriented approach. Second, develop C++ programs using classes and objects. Third is implement inheritance in C++ program. Fourth, use polymorphism in C++ program. And last, develop C++ programs to perform file operations. These are the 5 course outcome of our. Now we will see the teaching and examination scheme of this course. This course requires 3 lectures, 1 tutorial and 1 practical per week. The examination scheme is divided into 2 parts, that is a theory and practical. Under the theory, end semester exam has the 70 marks and PA 30 marks. Out of 30 marks, 10 marks for the progressive assessment are for the micro project assessment, and 20 marks is the average of 2 tests will be taken during the semester. Okay. In the practical, end semester exam has the 25 marks, that is a practical exam which is conducted in our laboratory, and progressive assessment has 25 marks, which includes completion and submission of the manual. Now we will see the theory components of this course. This course has the 5 units. Each unit has the different weightage of marks. The first unit is Principle of Object-Oriented Programming. This unit has 7 subtopics. First is Procedure-Oriented Programming versus Object-Oriented Programming. This point includes what is the procedure-oriented programming, what is the object-oriented programming, and difference between POP and OOP. Here, procedure-oriented programming means it mostly focuses on the algorithm or doing the procedure, and object-oriented programming mostly focus on the object, that is a data. Next point is a basic concept of object-oriented programming. It contains classes, definition of class, definition of object, what is data heading, data abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance, message passing, etc. Next is the object-oriented languages. There are different types of object-oriented languages like Java, C++, and last is the applications of OOP. Third point is a C versus C++. In this, we are going to discuss the distinguish between C language and C++ language. Structure of C++ program. Here, we know that computer program is a set of instruction And what is the structure of C++ program? Means how to write C++ program is nothing but the structure and simple C++ program. The fourth point is the tokens, keywords, variables. These are the basic terminologies. Variables, constant, basic data types, user defined data types, typecasting, operators and expressions. The fifth subtopic is a control structures. What is control structures? The statements which control the program flow known as the control structures. There are two types of control structures, that is decision making statement and looping statement. In decision making statement we are going to learn if statement, if else statement, switch statement, and in looping do while and for loop. Next is a scope resolution operator and memory management operator. These are new in the C++ language. The scope resolution operator in C++ language, it supports a mechanism to access a global variable from a function in which a local variable is defined with the same name. Means global variable and local variable has the same name. So to access the global variable we need the scope resolution operator. And which are the memory management operators? New and delete. These are the memory management operators which is used for the allocating memory and deallocating the memory. Last is a arrays, string and structure in C++. Our next unit is classes and objects. It contains 6 subpoints. First is a class and object. Here we are going to discuss the definition of class, definition of object, how to declare a class, how to create object from the class, introduction, specifying a class, access specifiers, defining member functions, creating object, memory allocation for objects. Next subpoint is a static data members, static member function and friend function. The third point is a array of object, object as function argument. Fourth is a concept of constructor. So constructor has the same name as the class name and it is automatically executed when object is created. There are different types of constructor. We are going to discuss in this point. Multiple constructor in a class, constructors with default arguments, and last point is a destructor, means which is function totally opposite as the constructor, means it is used for deallocating the memory location. Next, our third unit is a extending classes using inheritance. We already know the extending is the feature of the object oriented language. So what is inheritance? Inheritance means creating derived class from the base class, and that derived class has all the properties present in the base class. So this unit contains 3 subtopics. Introduction to inheritance, defining a derived class, means how to derive class from the already existed one, visibility modes and effects. Second subpoint is a types of inheritance. There are different types of inheritance like single, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Hybrid is the combination of different inheritance type. And third is a virtual base class, virtual base class, abstract class, constructors in derived class. Next, our fourth unit, pointers and polymorphism in C++. As we know, what is pointer? Pointer is a special variable that contains the address of the another variable. We know what is variable. Simple variable contains the data and pointer variable contains the address of that another variable. So concept of pointer, it contains pointer declaration, how to declare a pointer, pointer operator, address operator and pointer arithmetic. Next point is a pointer to object. Pointer to object, this pointer, pointer to derived class, etc. Third point is a introduction of polymorphism. Polymorphism is the feature of C++. Is the one of the feature of C++. Polymorphism is the Greek word. Poly means many, morph means form. Okay, so polymorphism means same name but different function. Types of polymorphism, there are two types of polymorphism: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. In compile time polymorphism, function overloading, operator overloading, overloading of unary and binary operators, rules for operator overloading. Here function overloading means same function name but it works differently, and operator overloading means a same operator but work as a differently. Runtime polymorphism, it contains virtual function, rules for virtual functions and pure virtual function. Now our last unit is fifth unit, file operations. It is difficult to handle large amount of data only with the use of keyboard and screen. So we need to store data in the secondary device and called as a files. Means a computer system store programs and data in a secondary storage in the form of files. A file is a sequence of bits, bytes, lines and also records. To define a file property, it is necessary to consider the operations which can be performed on files. A program typically involves data communication between the console and the program, or between the files and program, or even both. The program must at least perform data exchange between processor and main memory. So what is file operation means? We store the data into the files and perform operation on that file. We need the stream class. So it has the three subpoints: C++ stream classes, classes for file stream operations. Second is the opening files, closing files, reading from and writing to files. Last one is a detection of end of file and file mode. These 5 units present in your course. Now we will see the overview of all the units. The first unit requires 8 lectures and has the 14 marks. Second unit requires 14 lectures and 18 marks. Third unit requires 10 lectures and it has 16 marks. Fourth topic requires 10 lectures and 14 marks. Last unit requires 6 lectures and has the 8 marks. Okay. So under this course, everyone have to develop one micro project. Here each student will have to maintain dated work diary consisting of individual contribution in the project work and give a seminar presentation of it before submission. Means everyone have to develop one micro project in the group. Okay, so here are some examples of micro projects: library management application, hotel management application, bank management application. See here, all are the real world problems. So OP focus on the real world problem. You have to develop micro project with the real world problem. Last, here are some reference book of our course. First one is Object Oriented Programming with C++ by Balguru Swami, and the C++ programming language Stroustrup. Okay, books are available in our library, and these two are the base book for that C++ subject. Here some softwares and learning websites are here are some softwares and learning websites are here. So if you want to refer this for your extra understanding.